The Vietnam People's Army stands as one of the most experienced and resilient military forces in modern history. Unlike armies that rely on global projection or overwhelming technology, Vietnam's strength comes from endurance, strategic patience, and an unbreakable connection between the military and the nation itself. Shaped by decades of conflict against some of the world's strongest powers, Vietnam's army is not designed for aggression, but for survival, resistance, and absolute defense of national sovereignty. Every aspect of its structure reflects a single truth learned through history. Vietnam must always be ready to defend itself alone, if necessary. Vietnam's military identity was forged through centuries of foreign invasions and resistance. Long before modern weapons existed, Vietnamese forces relied on terrain mastery, deception, and timing to defeat stronger enemies. These principles carried into the 20th century. When the Vietnam People's Army transformed from a guerrilla force into a disciplined, organized military capable of defeating technologically superior opponents, this transformation shocked the world and permanently altered global military thinking. Vietnam proved that determination, strategy, and unity could overcome raw firepower, a lesson still embedded deeply in its modern doctrine. Today, Vietnam's military strategy is built almost entirely around defense. The country does not seek to dominate other nations or project power overseas. Instead, it focuses on denying enemies the ability to control its land, skies, or seas. Vietnamese military planning assumes that any future conflict would involve a stronger opponent, which is why its doctrine emphasizes layered defense, asymmetric warfare, prolonged resistance, and national mobilization. The goal is not quick victory, but making any invasion unbearably costly and ultimately unsustainable. The Vietnam People's Army is structured to ensure that no single strike can cripple national defense. Its ground forces, Navy, Air Force, air defense units, border guards, and militia operate as a unified system rather than separate branches. One of Vietnam's most unique strengths is the integration of civilians into defense planning. In wartime, reserves and militia units expand rapidly. Infrastructure shifts to support logistics, and local communities become active participants in national defense. This system ensures that any conflict quickly evolves beyond conventional warfare. Vietnam's ground forces remain the backbone of its military power. Though not equipped with the newest tanks or armored vehicles, they are optimized for Vietnam's challenging terrain. Dense jungles, river deltas, mountains, and urban centers create an environment where invading forces struggle to operate effectively. Vietnamese soldiers train extensively in ambush tactics, concealment, tunnel warfare, urban resistance, and anti-armor operations. The terrain itself becomes a weapon, turning every road, village, and forest into a potential battlefield. Armor and artillery play a supporting but critical role in Vietnam's defense strategy. The Army operates a large number of upgraded tanks, armored vehicles, and artillery systems designed for mobility and survivability rather than brute force. Artillery is used selectively, focusing on decisive moments instead of continuous bombardment. Rocket artillery and mobile units allow rapid strikes followed by quick relocation, making them difficult to neutralize. This approach conserves resources while maximizing battlefield impact. Vietnam's air defense network is one of the strongest and most layered in Southeast Asia. Built from hard-earned experience, it is designed to deny air superiority rather than seek dominance. Long-range, medium-range, and short-range missile systems protect cities, military bases, and critical infrastructure. Integrated radar coverage over land and sea ensures early detection of threats. Vietnam understands that controlling the skies determines the outcome of modern wars, and its air defense strategy focuses on making enemy air operations extremely risky and costly. The Vietnam People's Air Force operates with a defensive mindset, prioritizing airspace protection, interception, and precision support rather than large-scale offensive campaigns. Pilot training, aircraft survivability, and base protection are emphasized over sheer numbers. Dispersal tactics and hardened facilities ensure that air assets remain operational even under heavy attack. In wartime, the Air Force would operate closely with air defense units, creating layered traps that challenge even advanced air forces. Vietnam's Navy has grown steadily in response to rising maritime security challenges, particularly in contested waters. Rather than pursuing dominance, the Navy focuses on sea denial, Submarines, coastal missile systems, fast attack craft, and naval aviation form the core of Vietnam's maritime defense. Its submarines serve as a powerful deterrent, capable of disrupting enemy naval operations and forcing adversaries to commit significant resources to counter them. Along the coastline, missile systems provide long-range coverage, turning nearby waters into higher-risk zones for hostile fleets. Modern warfare extends beyond physical battlefields, and Vietnam has adapted accordingly. Cyber defense, electronic warfare, and information security have become key components of national defense planning. Vietnam invests in protecting its communication networks while developing the capability to disrupt enemy systems. In a future conflict, the battle for information and coordination would begin long before conventional combat, and Vietnam aims to remain resilient in this unseen domain. Training and discipline remain the true core of Vietnam's military strength. Soldiers are trained not just to fight, but to endure. Emphasis is placed on operating under extreme conditions, surviving with limited supplies, and maintaining cohesion under constant pressure. Vietnamese military culture values adaptability and mental toughness, preparing soldiers for prolonged conflict rather than short engagements. This mindset reflects Vietnam's historical experience, where wars were often long, exhausting, and unforgiving. Vietnam continues to modernize its military carefully and deliberately. Rather than chasing the most expensive technology, it focuses on cost-effective upgrades, domestic production, and strategic partnerships. This balanced approach strengthens defense capabilities without provoking arms races or destabilizing the region. Vietnam seeks deterrence through preparedness rather than intimidation. Perhaps the greatest strength of the Vietnam People's Army is its reputation. History has shown that invading Vietnam is never simple, never quick, and never cheap. Potential adversaries understand that even if early advances succeed, resistance will grow stronger over time. This psychological deterrence plays a powerful role in maintaining national security, often preventing conflict before it begins. In the modern world, Vietnam stands as a nation that transformed hardship into strength. Its army is not built for spectacle, but for reality. It is an institution shaped by experience, guided by restraint, and grounded in proven principles of defense. Vietnam does not seek war, but it remains fully prepared to protect its land, its people, and its future. The Vietnam People's Army may not be the most technologically advanced or the largest force on Earth, but it is one of the most resilient, forged by history, strengthened by unity, and driven by unwavering resolve. It remains a silent force that refuses to fall. If you enjoyed this detailed overview, please like, share, and subscribe to Strategic Armed Forces. Thank you for watching.